out to an 8-0 start for the first time since 1991. Have a great afternoon.
Welcome in, everyone. You're watching right now the Coastal Carolina against Wake Forest after that Virginia win that you're coming into. I'm Angel Gray alongside Jasmine Thomas on the call in. Both teams on the scoreboard already. We were expecting a fast-paced game so far. We've seen Wake Forest really dictating the pace at first, but they have been able to get Asia Blunt the ball on the block, seeing if they can get a couple more touches on the inside.
Yeah, that's where she's dominant. She uses her size and her body well. She's physical down there, and they go to her early.
Angie Jean, short on the shot. Jewel Spear turns down the three, works herself baseline. Shot on the inside, bounces around a little bit, but Olivia Samiel with a nice start.
Harrison picked up her dribble on that baseline. I'm glad she was able to get that through to Samiel.
Another touch on the block for Asia Blunt. This time she goes to her left side. No good. Elise Williams works it on the inside, high arcing shot, and that's just gonna roll out on the right. So far, Wake Forest answering the call for coach as far as defense, really trying to keep Asia Blunt off the block. Low shot clock. And that heave by Newsom, no good. They do get the ball back, so another turnover for Wake Forest.
Coastal Carolina is going to hustle. They're going to get after some loose balls, so Wake Forest is going to have to get a hold of those 50-50 balls.
Miriam Ricarte, the missed opportunity on the block on the other end, like lightning. Another bucket. So Elise Williams has been one of those players that coach says she's so strong getting to the bucket, can get to her spot at any point. A big boost for them offensively in this season. This time, Asia Blunt got it on the high post, and that's off back iron. Jewel Spear pops up for the three. Doesn't get it to go, but it's fouled, so she'll take three at the free throw line.
Yeah. I like Elise Williams getting out in transition, you know, really getting herself going early. She's great in transition. She's great getting to the basket. That's a nice, strong take.
Career high 18 points. Started 24 games last season, averaged 9, close to 10 points per game. Coming off a game where she had 8, so one of those players that continues to get better and better as the season progresses. As now we're looking at Jewel Spear at the free throw line. She struggled in the last few games, and one of the conversations with her was, you coming in, scoring the most points in the ACC in the previous season, what are you going to expect on how you can counter how everyone else is going to play you? Coach Jebbia mentioned we've seen triangle in 2, we've seen box in 1. So how have you seen her counter?
I've seen her do a lot of backdoor cuts. She's getting face guarded a ton, so really just trying to move more without the ball and find her spots. And, you know, over 50 or 40% of her shots are from 3. So seeing her score more from the inside instead of just settling from the arc. And I think right there she got bailed out by, you know, kind of trying to force that 3 up in transition. But she's a great free throw shooter, so the more she can get to the line, the better.
At one point, she was leading the nation the first week in free throw attempts. Right now, Wake Forest, known for their 3-ball, lead the ACC in made threes. Baseline, Coastal Carolina has to heave it. 1 second on the shot clock.
It's the second time that they, you know, it's the second time that they get late in the shot clock and get offensive rebound.
It's a great point. Just finishing the play, as Coach Jebbia would mention to her team. They do get the ball back after the jump ball. The Chanticleers is a scrappy team, just known to be in your face, pressuring the entire game. So we're going to see a couple of different looks from them defensively. Samiel finds Jewel Spear on the backside and that's an easy way to get an easy 2.
Yep, great backdoor. Exactly what she's looking to do. Not just, you know, come off the screens and shoot from the outside, but really get behind the defense too.
Deacs on a 9-0 run over the last 2 minutes of play. Scoring in bunches as now Chanticleers will be able to step up to the free throw line. Maya Adams, the nice take.
The backdoor action has been great for them in the last few games, and there you see them really looking for her on that, and she executes and makes a great play.
Jewel Spear last year had her career high 40 points, and from that 40 points, she had 10 threes against East Carolina. And so this is a player that definitely knows how to put the ball in the hoop, but obviously to adjust is going to be the next step for her in her game.
For sure, she's proven that she is a tremendous three-point shooter, but being able to impact the game in other ways is something that Coach Gebbia talked to us about.
Maya Adams knocks down the second of the pair. See some full court pressure from the Chanticleers.
And this is typical of them. They like to press after made free throws.
Samiel. Knocked down. I don't think you can ask for a hotter start from Samiel. 6 points so far for Olivia.
She's a great glue player for them. She does the hustle plays and the step defense with a block right there. You see it. But she's also a great shooter and able to put points on the board.
Coach called her the burst player. Brings a lot of energy to the roster, and talk about taking care of home court. Coach said we wanted them to play mad. Olivia Samiel, it's her show. We're just watching it.
She's come out, she's off to a great start. She's 3 for 4 from the floor with 6 points, and she also has 2 rebounds and a block already, so definitely can fill up the stat sheet.
And all over the floor, it's just really impactful when you can see the minutes that she's been able to contribute so far. Passing, that's something that you, coming into this game, to this team that can grow in. Her being one of those passers that can get things done.
Yeah, absolutely. She has a great court awareness and IQ. She enjoys making the pass more than she enjoys scoring. So it's nice to see her out here a little aggressive on the offensive end.
A much needed bucket for Coastal Carolina. Erin Freeman with the bucket. They were 0 for 7. And now they just made that field goal coming out, and a quick response for Jewel Spear.
Nice to see her get an open look from the 3. You know, that's her comfort, and maybe get her going here.
Shooting 37% from distance. Knocks down her first one of the day. Asia Blunt is trying to work herself baseline, knocks it off of Samiel, so they'll get the ball back underneath.
That's great ball movement by Wake. It leads to a wide open player.
Energy in the ball. Every coach likes to see it. There's going to be a travel. Coach Pedersen wanted the contact call first. Either way, it's going to be a turnover, and that's his second one.
Coach Gebbia has to be impressed and liking what she's seeing from the defensive end from her Demon Deacons right now.
She mentioned in Bahamas that they had a heart-to-heart. We'll say that. We know what that means when a coach says that. To her team, challenging them to bring the energy and effort. As there's a foul at half court. So Kai Harrison gets fouled. They'll get it back. Here in the half court hash. A lot of pressure at the top of the key. Becker to the bucket. She's able to draw the foul.
Way to handle that pressure. Coastal Carolina, this is what they want to do. This is their game plan, is to get up in Wake Forest and, you know, make them put the ball on the floor and do things that they don't want to do. But that was a great drive.
Right now, Wake Forest shooting 63% from the field. I think that's pretty efficient.
Absolutely, where they haven't had much of an offensive rhythm in previous games. They've been searching for that.
Well, the 15th annual Women's ACC Big Ten Challenge begins Wednesday with Pittsburgh hosting Illinois at 5 Eastern, but we're featuring the second game, the top 10 matchup between number 4 Ohio State and number 10 Louisville, right here on the ACC Network and the ESPN app. And we can go back to our college careers and think about how impressive and how much passion goes into those ACC Big Ten challenges, and everyone wants that pride. And
of course, you want your conference to be the best conference.
So Nia Becker picks up her first personal foul. Seeing aggressive play after that first time out from Aaron Freeman. Couldn't get it to fall. Quickly in transition, Elise Williams settled things down though. Some of y'all left all alone on the baseline. Couldn't get that one to drop. So coming out of the break, Wake Forest hit 4 of their last 4 buckets, have cooled down a bit from the floor. And you're seeing the Chanticleers with a response and a run of their own.
Yeah, Erin Freeman, she's great at getting in the paint and attacking. She's a great scorer. You see her there with that last play. And then they have a turnover, forcing a turnover, which is what they want to do and get out in transition and play fast.
Couldn't convert Angie Just-Jean. And they'll slow things down as we are now under the 2-minute mark here in the first quarter. Another turnover at the top of the key. Aaron Freeman gets that one to go on the left.
This is exactly their game plan. Would like to see Wake kind of tighten it up a bit, getting a little careless with the passes.
Jewel Spear left alone, rimmed out. And Becker with the rebound, another foul. And Becker will step up for another 2. So right now for Wake, coming out of that timeout, we've seen the pressure really dialed up for Coastal Carolina.
Absolutely, and this is what they want to do. They want to make Wake play fast and get some steals, turn them over, get out in transition, and they need to capitalize on all of those when they can.
Both teams sitting at 2 turnovers apiece. As far as the points off of those turnovers, it really hasn't been that bad. Only 2 points that Coastal Carolina has been able to get from that. But you can tell that conversation that they had during the break with Coach Pedersen just wanting a little bit more. He said the identity was huge for them. And that's a big piece of it, being in your face, applying pressure, especially on the passers.
Yeah, absolutely. I mean, to be able to still run the offense and make good decisions when you have that amount of pressure coming at you every possession, it's tough, and you know that's what they're looking to do.
Long distance shot, long rebound. And Aaron Freeman was close to getting another steal on that last play. 5'7" sophomore out of Little Rock, Arkansas. Pesky defender.
Absolutely. In their last game, she had 7 steals off the bench.
Back-to-back games in double figures for Aaron Freeman has been the energy boost for her squad. Jewel Spear left alone on the wing. 3-ball, drains it.
They are not going to want to keep giving her too many of those open looks. She is not going to miss a bunch of them. So
Jewel Spear with 11 points, the only player on either side in double figures to this point.
I'll be curious to see if Coastal Carolina changes up their defensive plan on her. We've seen the last few games her seeing some of those junk defenses are being face guarded, so you know maybe they'll go to some of that.
And Beyonce Carter gets her first bucket of the game, and
no!
How about Jewel Spear? There's no place like home, right?
Absolutely, she is feeling it now.
Back-to-back buckets for Jewel Spear, pushes their lead to 16. 10 on the game clock. Anaya Barney on back iron, a fight for the rebound. They got 2 seconds left, a heave, and that'll be no good, and that closes the first quarter of play. It's been all Wake Forest.
Back back-to-back open threes. That is what she does. That's her bread and butter, and she is feeling good on her home floor today.
It's what she's been able to do over her career, as well as understanding a lot of people are going to have their eyes on her coming into games. She's already scored 83 points in the first 6 games, and just a few less than 100 points she needs on the season to be a part of that 1,000-point club just in her sophomore year.
Absolutely, and she's handling it well. You know, she's getting different coverages. Teams are trying to frustrate her, and she does get frustrated at times, but she remains a good teammate. She's ready for the next opportunity, and she's finding ways to do different things on the floor, whether that's rebounding or, you know, being the decoy action for her teammates.
A bucket for Coastal Carolina out of the timeout. That one goes to Beyonce Carter, and no, not the one that we just got an album from. That's got to be a lot of pressure, I'm sure, right?
Yeah,
Beyonce Carter, you set reservations, and it's like, wait a minute, that's not you.
It has to be. With her age, that's probably intentional. Her parents knew what they were doing.
Wake Forest trying to find some type of help on the baseline. They'll get the ball back underneath with 9 seconds left on the shot clock. Demira Hines checks into the game. And we haven't seen her very much. She's only attempted 1 field goal in this game, and that's a player that we were highlighting coming into this one, picking up her first double-double of the season. Gets the rebound. And can't get it to drop.
Asia Blunt is physical down there, so even though she has a size advantage on her, she's going to need to be able to finish those.
I love the question you asked Kevin Pedersen. How do you counter with Hines? He said, well, she's scary. You know, there's a couple of things you got to do differently.
Absolutely. She's very strong. Coach Jebbia was telling us that in the weight room, she has been putting in extra work to just be as strong and in her best shape as possible, working on her vertical. And you're seeing a lot of that play out into her game. This matchup between those two is going to be interesting.
Absolutely. I thought it was a very intriguing nugget she gave us. Picked up the ball at 15.
15, she was a soccer player until she was 15, and you know, now she's blooming a little bit to the start of this season.
Ceiling very high for Hines as that's knocked out of bounds by Erin Freeman. She's been all over the floor.
All over the floor. You know, I'm a defensive player. I love to see that.
You and I, we are very similar. A lot of similarities.
Very.
Gets her hand on that one as well. That's knocked out of bounds. We'll see who it'll stay with. Looks like it'll stay with Wake Forest. And so they're finally able to get the ball in. Ball's given back to Reagan Connolly at the top of the key. Late pass, almost finds Hines, but that's knocked off of her knee. So Coastal Carolina get back, and that'll be the 3rd turnover for the Deacs.
Yeah, definitely the right look, but Wake Forest is going to need to really settle in and handle this pressure. Don't try to speed up or rush things. Let it develop.
It's another key that Coach Jebbia mentioned, just timely passes, not hesitating, not being afraid to make a mistake. On the inside, demanding the ball against Hines, bounces around, gets it to fall.
That is a very strong take against a great defender. You know, as we had talked about, Hines had in their last game. So for her to be able to take it down there to her, you know, she's confident. She believes in what she can do. She is not going to back down from that size.
4 points for Asia Blunt. As there's another turnover, so back-to-back possessions for the Deacs, where they've coughed up the ball. Carter, spin move. Bounces around a little bit more, but this one instead is going to be corralled in by Hines. You can see the emphasis, too, for Coastal Carolina. Taking at points in the paint, they're outscoring them 12-8.
I like their composure when they turn them over. They're not just running down and getting any shot. They're really being intentional on where they want to get the ball, whether that's into Asia Blunt or just getting their best shot.
That will even it out in the paint a little bit as Reagan Connolly scores on the left side. Carter has great hands on the inside to grab that one. Of course, Aaron Freeman out of the pack gets a second chance opportunity. Carolina right now can't convert on those second chance opportunities, though. So Nia Becker has been aggressive. We'll go back to this.
That's a crazy bucket right there, but you know, Conley, she has great size, she's long, so she gets away with some of those tough, wiry finishes.
Sophomore out of Chattanooga, Tennessee. So actually a finalist for the 2020 Miss Basketball in Tennessee. Shot 80% from the free throw line last year as well. Just one of those players that continues to grow, challenging each year.
It's nice to see Becker come out aggressive, because we talked to Coach Jebbia about the pressure that she put on her was to be more offensive and to be more aggressive in that way, and she's coming right out here and showing that she can do that.
Well, Coastal Carolina, before that last three made, they were 0 for 4. So finding some success so far. They're held up at the top of the key. Nia Becker can't convert. 11-point lead for Wake Forest, 6-minute mark here in the second quarter. And that bounces around a little bit as Anaya Barney is now on the board. Nine-point lead for Wake Forest. And after that first break, they had a 16-point lead.
Anaya Barney, the lone freshman on this Coastal Carolina squad.
10 seconds on the shot clock. Freeman can't come up with another steal. They have 5 to get one off, and a foul is going to bail them out. You can see the entire bench just went bad for that turnover, because you can feel the momentum shifting to them.
Absolutely. I mean, they've really closed this gap and got a little rhythm going for themselves. They're sitting at 29 to 20 right now, so they're really feeling like they could be back in this game.
A couple of substitutions for both sides. Reagan Conley will take a seat as Joel Spear checks back in. And Barney will take a seat as well. Another hustle play for Coastal Carolina. And she's able to knock that one off of Samiel.
They have really bought into this defensive game plan. No matter who comes on the floor for Coastal Carolina, they are up in them and pressuring Wake Forest.
So another turnover. You can just tell the energy and passion that the Chants have been able to play with. Working their way back into this one. The 1-2 step misses the mark. And Jewel Spear is able to bring that one in. Underneath, Becker left alone. Didn't like her shot. And at this point, you're a point guard. You want to see that point guard.
I want to see Wake Forest play organized, really know what they're looking to do, who they want to get the ball to, what sets, what actions are working. We're into the game now, and they've settled, so should be seeing some of that.
They had a last-second shot. That one no good by who's cooled off after the first quarter. She had 6. Outside attempt.
We might see that here. Great defensive rebound, slowing it down, really trying to execute and get something good here.
Joel Spear fighting for the ball there, but that's going to be knocked out of bounds by Angie Justine Jean. And right now, still Wake Forest up 9, but the Chants said they have a lot in the tank.
The hot spots
Have Duke and North Carolina on ACC Network and the ESPN app. Saturday, the Blue Devils host Boston College at Cameron Indoor. Coverage begins at 4 Eastern. And Sunday, the Tar Heels take on Virginia Tech in the second game of their doubleheader. That starts at 1 Eastern with a Miami-Louisville tipping off everything for that day. So that's going to be a fun-filled day. But we'll start here with Erin Freeman, who has been everywhere on the floor for Coastal Carolina, down as many as 16 points, and now they've been able to bring this one back into 9.
Yeah, absolutely, and they have done that at the defensive end. And while it's not showing up in the stat sheet, Erin Freeman has really set the tone for her team on the defensive end. She's everywhere. I would love to see how many deflections she has, because if she didn't get the steal, her teammate ended up with it.
I love that you said that too, because it's the intangibles of a player. And we talked about the different roles that one must have for each locker room, and you can tell her understanding what she brings to the team as far as them finding success.
And it's a challenge for her because she's a scorer for this team. So her coach said that he knows she can score the ball. He wants to see her really impact the game and do everything for them, and she's proven that she can do that.
Does a little bit of everything. 5 assists against Wilford. 7 in their last test as Asia Blunt gets the and 1. So Asia Blunt able to get a nice look, deep steal on the inside. And we'll see if she can knock down the free throw to complete the and 1. And is outstanding from the free throw line. Was 8 for 10 in the last game, perfect the previous 3 games, and has shot over 75% in her entire career each season.
Absolutely, and with how well
Angie Just-Jean picks up a foul here. Coastal Carolina on the defensive side really been able to take care of business offensively, have been able to get out as well, and another turnover pulled in by Erin Freeman, but unfortunately is on the baseline, so it'll go back to the Deacs, who have struggled with taking care of the ball in this half.
in a game like this, that's exactly what they can't do. They need to be sharp. They need to take care of the ball and get back focused on that.
8 turnovers for Wake Forest. And haven't scored in the last 4:22. This one rolls around, so that will break the drought. Much needed bucket. Blunt sends it outside. A 3, another one for the Shots. Their second one of the day after a cold start in the first quarter. Two-possession game as a 3-ball. Wake Forest can do that. He's made more threes than any ACC team coming into this one. Asia Blunt, bully ball on the left side. It gets another and one. So Asia Blunt has been the go-to throughout this entire season. And see the
and you can see why.
attempt here.
She's a great finisher. Great finisher.
Spear at the top of the key,
and
that's cash money.
She's got a beautiful shot too. When her feet are set, when she's just unconsciously taking that shot, it looks like it's going in every time.
Joel Spear knocks down 4 triples so far in the first half. 4 for 5, has 17 points. Leading both sides. The only other player in double figures is Asia Blunt for Coastal Carolina, and that's going to be an offensive foul. That one going against Erin Freeman.
Yeah, great defensive way to move her feet. She really owned her space, beat her to the spot, and, you know, perfect charge.
So we need to see if Debbie has the board up, counting all these defensive moments where her team is really sacrificing their body. And needing to do so because you see the energy that the Chants are playing with at this point.
And because they have not been taking care of the ball, they've been playing a lot of defense. So to see them, you know, hustle play like taking a charge, it gives a lot of energy and momentum to your team.
Samiel still stuck at 6 points, 3 for 6 from the floor. Take on the left, bounces around. Asia Blunt with the read. 4 white jerseys around her. This is going to be called a jump ball. It will stay with the Chants.
For her size, she is an incredible rebounder. She creates space. She's able to, you know, really clear off her defenders and grab it down. And she did that with 3 defenders around her.
Strong side. Last year was a second in conference in scoring. Just does a little bit of everything for this team. They had 15 on the shot clock to work with. Less than a minute left in this half, and that's completely denied by Samiel.
Again, showing what a defensive presence she is for the Demon Deacons.
Only 2 seconds separate game clock and shot clock. So maybe one of those quick shots which didn't want at that moment. And a bit of a miscommunication on the other side, close to bringing it up for Kai Harrison.
But you can't stop playing, you know? You didn't go the way you wanted it to. You know, the ball, there was a opportunity there to maybe run it down. Getting a little frustrated with each other out there.
10 seconds to work with for the Deacs. Harrison dials her own number off the right side, and they have 5 to work with for the Chants. DeLaurel heaves it. A little too strong on the right side, and they've definitely fought through this entire second quarter, but Wake Forest.
Oh, wow.
37-28. We do have stoppage of play. I think there was a foul called, as the officials are now going to check and see if there was time left.
Definitely not.
Shot off.
Yeah, definitely not a smart foul right there. Giving your team momentum. That will definitely give Coastal Carolina some momentum going into halftime. I don't know. Did she get it off in time?
Wade Jackson, Kelsey Reynolds taking a look and seeing if there is indeed time on the clock, and it seems as if Wake Forest knows that there is. They're already lined up on the free throw line. Yep, definitely got it off.
Definitely. So again, just not really a, you know, you don't want to give them an easy open look, but you definitely don't want to foul there. Like I said, it's going to give Coastal Carolina, who's been playing great defense, who's done a great job of keeping themselves in this game, some momentum going into halftime.
So Helena, that was her first missed free throw of the season, entered at 100%. The France native. Knocks down the second, so she'll get one more. Last game at 7 points. And gets the third to roll in, point 2. They get it in, hold it tight, and that will now bring the first half to an end. So Wake Forest getting out of this one 37-30. It's been going back and forth. We've seen a lot of threes in this one, a lot of defense as well. After the break, we'll send it to the studio for the ACC Network halftime report. We didn't highlight her at the top of the game. Demira Hines was the player that we had our eye out on, but Jewel Spear shows up every single time.
Yeah. You know, she's consistently their, you know, their go-to, their scorer, you know, reigning leading scorer of the conference. So she's doing what Jewel Spear does.
Bounce pass on the inside, tangled up.
Definitely don't want to start the half with the turnover.
And that is what they do. Asia Blunt got her hand on that one, was able to keep it in play.
Back-to-back turnovers.
So we're kind of seeing how the game started, the same sentiments from both sides. But Asia Blunt misses an opportunity in transition.
The pace of this half is really picked up. And it ends.
And Jewel Spear saying, give me the ball. We'll make sure we make some magic out of it. Knocks down her 5th triple of the day. Newsom tried to answer with a 3 of her own. They get an old board, but this one's cleared out.
That was a 3-on-2 opportunity.
And Jewel Spear, left alone, that's dangerous territory for the opponent.
Again, I think Coastal Carolina will definitely be disappointed with how many times they left her open.
And efficient, 6 for 8 from the field, 5 for 6 from the 3, and is perfect from the free throw line at 3 for 3. Foul before the play. And both are knocked down, pushing their lead to 11. Just Jean had a nice look on the inside. We've seen a little bit of everything in her toolbox coming into this one, as there's a substitution for the shots. Deasia Richardson checks in. And Just Jean will take a seat.
She hasn't been able to get on the scoreboard, but she has definitely been aggressive.
Seven on the shot clock for the Chants. Top of the key. 3, drains it. Riccarde.
She follows Coach Pedersen from Lander, where she was in her last 2 seasons, she averaged double figures.
The grad transfer, as you were mentioning, the native of Spain. So Coach Pedersen knows very well that she can stretch the floor as Asia Blunt gets a nice look on the right side. That's a different look because the first half, she was getting all of her deep seals on the left.
Yep, she absolutely was.
Samiel on the baseline misses the mark there. Just a 2-possession game.
Another one.
And gets it! Miriam Ricarte.
I mean, just really giving her team all the energy right now. Coastal Carolina is playing with just a tremendous energy and confidence right now. They were able to go in that half with the game being close, and they came out just hot and firing, forcing Wake Forest to call a timeout.
This is the closest this game has been after the 16-point lead for Wake Forest. Here come the Chants. And the Chants are on an 8-0 run and scoring those points in under a minute.
Absolutely giving her team some energy and some momentum. Back-to-back threes for a player who, coming into this game, was 0 for 1 from the 3. Last game.
The Chants have hit 3 of their last 3. And Wake Forest starts off with the ball after the break. A nice look on the inside for Naya Becker with the and 1.
That's a great response by Wake Forest. That's exactly what they needed, was a great execution, a nice, strong, solid basket, and an opportunity to complete the 3-point play.
Just her first field goal of the day. Knocks down the free throw. So a much needed timeout for Wake Forest as the Chants were red hot from the field. We've seen a little bit of everything, really balanced in this game as well. Defensively, of course, some turnovers.
I feel like Wake Forest has even picked up their defensive pressure a little bit here, and you see Harrison coming up with the steal.
Trying to get it into Asia Blunt. Elise Williams sends it out to Spear. My goodness, she's on fire.
Another wide open three. Just can't lose her. Not in the half court and definitely not in transition.
6 for 7 from distance, and she can definitely light it up. Her career high in a game is 10 threes. She had that last year in her sophomore season.
Yeah, as you see, Wake Forest really just ramping up their defensive pressure, leading to a steal and then a three-point basket. And you see that three by Spear. They just lost her. They were right there with her, didn't communicate, and she connects on the wide open three.
One of my favorite questions from you to Coach Jebbia today was, does your defense dictate the offense? And you can see there how it was able to give them a little energy on the other end.
She said that she wants defense to be their identity. She joked about whether they like it or not, them to be a team that really plays hard and turns their defense into offense.
And they were able to get some offense there at the last second of the shot clock. Kaya Harrison knocks down the two. She's sitting at 5 points. So there was an 8-0 run for the Chants. Then coming from break, we saw the 8-0 run for Wake Forest. And now, Coastal Carolina.
You always hear it. It's a game of runs.
You've got our fair share. Take on by Elise Williams.
She's great at getting downhill and straight line driving. Great take, great finish right there.
Now joins Jewel Spear in double figures with 10. She's 4 for 8 from the field. We've seen a little bit of everything in this one right now. Wake Forest holding on to a 10-point lead, less than 5 minutes in the third quarter. Breakdown with coaches and player interviews. You can always catch everything on the ESPN app. If you're out and about, we're always out and about. The app is always up on our phones and our tablets. So many devices these days. And Elise Williams at the rim couldn't get that one to go, but has been stellar in this quarter. Has 10 points, 4 for 9 from the field.
She's doing a little bit of everything. She's gotten out in transition. She's gotten in the paint off the dribble in the court, and she's also 2 for 3 from the three-point line.
It's been consistent offensively as that one's no good underneath. Aaron Freeman cooled off a bit from the first half. Jewel Spear, a rare miss from the wing.
Surprised that one didn't fall.
I wouldn't be surprised if the boosters on the baseline on that point. Been hot in this game. Jewel Spear, 23 points. 5 for them to work with on the shot clock.
Oh,
beautiful look on the inside as Becker gets the look.
Great pass. I think that's what I love about Jewel Spear's game today is she hasn't had to force anything. She's just taking the looks that she gets, and as you see there, even finding her teammates.
Another look. She's been hot in this quarter as well.
Great ball movement here by Wake, and as you see, it ends with the backdoor layup by Becker.
Just the way they drew it up.
Just the way they designed. I'm sure coach is happy about that. Talked about being able to execute better. And even if it's not out of a set play, you know, as you build chemistry and the team gets comfortable, you play off of each other, and execution can sometimes be in broken plays.
And you can see 2 bodies coming at Jewel Spear for good reason, 23 points. But hey, she's got more weapons on the wing. Another 3-ball for Wake Forest. Beautiful inside look. But Amaya Adams couldn't finish on the interior. both teams have been shooting pretty efficiently from the field as well. 5 for 7 for both sides.
Yeah. You have Andrews with that last 3, where she's typically known as being a defensive stopper for this Wake Forest team. Coach Jebbia said she's guarding the best players, and you know she usually takes pride in that assignment. But she's knocking down a 3.
Kai Harrison, aggressive take off the back iron. Asia Blunt, one-on-one on the inside. Tried everything she could to draw that foul, and she does, and will step up to the free throw line for 2.
Not a defensive possession here. She really tried to play her go-to move. We've seen her a few times kind of dribble to that inside and finish, so she made her come back to the other direction, but just bailed her out with the foul.
Well, the 15th annual Women's ACC Big Ten Challenge begins Wednesday with Pittsburgh hosting Illinois at 5 Eastern. But we're featuring the second game, a top 10 matchup between number 4 Ohio State and number 10 Louisville, right here on the ACC Network and the ESPN app, as Asia Blunt knocks down both free throws. Let's see Alexandria Scruggs with the assignment on Asia Blunt. They struggled from the last few games after having back-to-back games to start in double figures off the bench.
Another one?
Andrews, corner 3, no good. Jewel Spear dishes it off at the top of the key, 15-footer. A bit strong, third opportunity.
You gotta love the energy on the offensive rebound by Wake Forest.
Quick pass on the inside. Becker gets it to fall.
She has been aggressive today, and it's been nice to see her really get in the box scores on the scoring end. Like I said, Coach Jebbia really wants her to be aggressive offensively.
Another foul on the field.
Not only offensively, she comes down and you know, she ends up with this charge on the defensive end. So she's doing it on both sides of the court.
Becker with 9 points, 3 for 5 from the field. She mentioned her efficiency. Turnover at the top of the key by Jewel Spear, and this should be an easy one. Gets to 2. Aaron Freeman sitting at 8 points, 4 for 7. Less than a minute to go here in the third quarter. Shawns have scored 9 points off of the turnovers. Wake Forest right now, they're sitting at 10. 10 to go, bounce pass on the inside, picture perfect.
That is a great pass, and we've seen that a few times here today where they are, you know, moving the ball around and just really get into the interior of the defense for some easy looks.
A foul over the back with Becker just trying to prevent Asia Blunt from getting the ball, but how about Wake in their ball movement?
Yeah, as you see, they, you know, got it to the baseline short corner, pulled the defense out, and just dived down the middle and was able to find Scruggs for that layup.
How about the first half? Coastal Carolina was winning in the department of points in the paint. Now Wake Forest is really taking charge. They're winning just a slight edge, but 24-22. You can see the players and how they're trying to get to the rim more efficient, but you can do that when you're hitting outside shots.
Absolutely. When you're attacking from an outside-inside standpoint, it really opens things up. Now you feel like everything is just working and clicking on all cylinders. You have great confidence, and they're just playing free.
7 on the shot clock. How about Aaron Freeman able to draw the foul here? We'll step up to the free throw line. 6.3 left on the game clock.
The little hesitation, you know, got our defender to stay on her hip, maybe even get behind a little bit, and then just a nice strong take through the chest.
So Conley picks up her first personal foul. We've seen some amazing fans across the ACC, and now we need your help. This winter ACC Network wants to experience each sport from your perspective. So snap a pic or take a video, tag it with hashtag #AllTheDevotion. That's hashtag #AllTheDevotion, and post it to your social. You just might see it on the ACC Network. It's a lot of pressure on social.
Yeah.
One on the shot clock. Sean's able to force a turnover. Can't get a look after that. But what a third quarter for both sides. So Wake Forest with a 10-point lead heading into the fourth quarter. They won the third, 23-20. I'm sure this will go down to the wire as they're trying to pick up their third win.
Aged and getting it done on both ends of the floor, which you love to see.
Has 5 rebounds to round that out as well. Olivia Sumiel as well right now leading this team in rebounds with 7.
You look at the score with this 10-point lead starting this fourth quarter. You would think that Wake Forest would like to kind of maybe break it open a little bit. You know, the longer they kind of let the game go back and forth, it, you know, puts themselves in trouble position.
Well, how about a trouble position for Wake Forest? Erin Freeman coming full speed is able to get it to Blunt, and she draws the foul. So Elise Williams picks up her first. Elise Williams, another player in double figures with 10 points. How about 3 players for Coastal Carolina with 3 players in double figures? You can see her resume on the side here. Blunt just doing a lot of things very well.
It's pretty consistent of Coastal Carolina to have a few players who are scoring. You know, they have their averages are right around close to each other, so they contribute a lot of their players who are in that starting 5 or who's on the court at any given time.
It's just an 8-point game, as you can see, the full court pressure from the Sean, something they're known to do.
Yeah. And it's been successful. They're not going to stop pressuring.
And the Colts turnover at the top of the key, Elise Williams was able to grab it back. There's a foul on the play.
Yeah, their defense is not going to let up. As I said, Coastal Carolina has this as their identity. They want to pressure. That was a game plan going in. They had some success with it in the first half. So for sure in this fourth quarter, I expect them to be even more aggressive.
And let's be very clear. Even with Coastal Carolina coming into this match today against Wake Forest, an ACC team, this Coastal Carolina squad has been tested throughout their season. They played 2 SEC teams to kick off their season. Georgia, they did lose 78-61. Kentucky, 79-53. But the confidence you build and understanding, you can hang with teams. And
For
coming
sure.
in and have really shown some highlights.
For sure. It's the confidence. It's the experience. You learn from each of those games. You learn from wins. You learn from losses. So you come in here and you're not intimidated, and you can see that.
Just recently scored 104 points in their win over Coker for their first win of the season. And just down 8. Wake Forest here at home, who's been perfect 2-0 at this point, trying to break a 2-game skid. As Asia Blunt has another rebound. 6 boards, 16 points for Asia Blunt. That one outside. But you mentioned it. The second chance opportunities for the shots have been really impressive.
Oh, they're aggressive on offensive rebounding. I think that's a characteristic of them. They're scrappy, they hustle. So they're going to go after those 50-50 balls for sure.
You mentioned the size difference. Well, they've been playing like there is no difference at all. They're being out rebounded 23-18, but 8 offensive boards, 5 second chance points.
Settling into a bit of a scrambling man-to-man.
There's Becker.
Becker is finding some confidence in this game. I like to see that. She is rising to the challenge from her head coach.
Transfer out of Utah, 4th in scoring and rebounding, was definitely a player that can do a little bit of everything. The Swiss Army knife, in a sense, where she can do anything on the floor. Asia Blunt really establishing herself in the paint. We're seeing something on both ends of the floor. Becker with a nice drive.
It's her 4th foul. 4th foul on Becker, so she'll have to take a little seat.
And she trots away. But putting on a show so far today. First time she scored in double figures this year. It was a stat that we had coming into this one. Coach said it can't all be on Jewel Spear, and she's seen a little bit of everything defensively. Still has 23 points, but other players have been able to step up.
As you can see in this 4th quarter, Coastal Carolina has gone to a little bit of the face guard defense against Spear, rightfully so.
She doesn't have any points in this 4th quarter. Just a 10-point game. Beautiful inside pass. That one's knocked away.
Wake Forest needs to keep their head on a swivel and see that drive happening on the weak side and, you know, dive down and cut off that pass.
Harrison able to knock it down so they can set up in their defense underneath. It's in for Wake Forest. Freeman take no good. Another battle on the inside. Asia Blunt comes up with the rebound. Finishes the deuce.
She is really doing a phenomenal job at just not giving up on plays and putting the ball in the basket.
Double teamed on the block. Scruggs is able to get it out to Williams.
You see the face guard on Jewel.
Harrison at the top of the key with 5 to go in the shot clock. Dishes it out. Back iron no good. That shot actually hit the back iron before.
Freeman has been hustling all game. She keeps that ball alive, and it ends up in the hands of Asia Blunt, who, like she's been doing all game, puts the ball in the basket, finishes tough.
What's been the most impressive thing you've seen from her?
From Asia, just finishing through all kinds of contact. You know, she's not had any wide open layups. She's being physical and going through people.
See the physicality there. She coughs that one up underneath. That was a 3rd attempt offensively for the Chants. Somebody else slow to get up. Jewel Spear works the baseline and is able to draw the foul.
I love that take because she could have settled for that 3, but instead she put the pressure on the defense and went in for the layup, and now she's at the charity strike where she shoots a tremendous percentage. She is, I believe, 88% or so from the free throw line.
We'll check that stat in just a minute, as next weekend we have Duke and North Carolina on ACC Network and the ESPN app. Saturday, the Blue Devils host Boston College at Cameron Indoor. Coverage begins at 4 Eastern, and Sunday, the Tar Heels take on Virginia Tech in the second game of our doubleheader. That starts at 1 Eastern. The Miami Louisville tipping it off. Impressive lineup we have there is Jewel Spear shooting 88% from the free throw line. Ranked nationally, 46, I believe, in that department as well. That one goes out of bounds. It'll stay with the Chants.
We'd like to see Freeman finish a little better, especially right now coming down the stretch. She's doing a great job at getting herself there. Just reward herself. Put it in the hoop.
So much energy, has been the energy bunny for them throughout this entire game. just down 9. Top of the key, Asia Blunt gets the runner to go.
We have not seen much of that from her today, going off the bounce, but that was a beautiful play.
So there's a bit of a scoring drought for the Demon Deacs. Haven't scored the last 3 minutes. And this is a 7-point ball game. 5:30 to go in the 4th. Scruggs, outside shot, no good. Finds the hands of Spear. She's fouled. And she can do it all. So she comes up hobbling just a little bit after that foul.
Definitely don't like to see that.
So Scruggs, short on the shot, but when it finds the hands of your leading scorer in Spear, something good is bound to happen. Spear now 5 for 6 from the free throw line. Knocks down the second of the pair. You asked where she ranks and everything. Well, nationally, she's 46. You got it right.
Mm-hmm. You know your stuff.
Trying to, you know, every now and again. Depends on the day. She gets it to go as Erin Freeman will take a seat, as well as Asia Blunt. Helena De La Ruelle.
Coastal Carolina being very patient with their execution, looking for their best option right now.
Less than 5 to go. Newsom.
That was a tough 3 against a very strong, aggressive closeout.
Are you surprised the game is this tight?
I am surprised. I am surprised, especially with how it started. You know, Wake Forest really got out to a big lead early.
27-11 start for Wake Forest in the first quarter. Then the Chants burst on the scene. They outscored them 19-10 in the second. We've gone back and forth since. 4 on the shot clock. Harrison, back iron.
Good
How
hustle.
about Scruggs? Coughs that one up, and now it's the Chants. They're still in this scoring drought. Haven't scored in the last 4 minutes and 30 seconds.
2-on-1.
Spear.
Nice.
Nice
It's
pull.
a great decision. Such a very, very good decision. She could have taken that in there with the type of game that she's having, but she gives confidence to her teammate when she makes that pass in that situation. 2-on-1, capitalizing on that. Coastal Carolina didn't get back in transition and ends up with a layup for Wake Forest.
Men who care about
Different games last season. We talked about her 40-point game last year as well with the 10 threes, but definitely picking up where she left off.
Picking up where she left off and learning as she goes, too.
Absolutely.
She's not able to score in the same way this year that she was last season because she has to adjust to how people are going to defend her.
They do have the 12-point lead with less than 4 minutes to go here in the fourth quarter. Scruggs left alone. She can knock that down and does.
Nice to see that three-point shot fall for her. Another player that Coach Jebbia has said has her focusing on being a defender and really being a presence in that area.
Started the season back-to-back games off the bench in double figures, has really struggled from the floor. There's a nice dish on the inside for Richardson. She gets the 2, but for Scruggs, this is a player where she said she almost has that Charles Barkley feel where she's undersized, but finding what her strength is underneath. She's only scored 7 points in the last 3 games, held to 0 and 2, so really trying to get her groove back on the inside. That's a good way to do it.
Absolutely, just stay confident. You know, that's a big thing as players. We know it. It's a confidence thing, and having a game like today where she can get some touches, see the ball go through the hoop, and definitely it gives her some confidence, and it can maybe boost her into a little rhythm.
senior out of Fayetteville, North Carolina, stepping up to the free throw line. Misses the mark on that one. Didn't score against Alabama. Was just over 4 from the field back in the Bahamas. They also dropped one to Missouri, 69-47. Coach Jebbia said that was eye-opening, and my challenge to them in message was, you got to play mad. You got to play mad and protect home court.
For sure, they're definitely trying to protect home court. I think they've had, you know, little spurts of where they have played mad and really had a tough energy to them. But being able to put it together for 4 quarters is what they probably will focus on moving forward.
Scruggs once again can't get that one to fall. What a rebound.
And a great find to her best shooter on the floor. How about that? Another wide open 3.
Put it on the highlight reel. That's what you want to see, right? If you're a coach. A second chance opportunity leading to a 3. Jewel Spear with another 30-point performance.
And she's done it so efficiently. It's been beautiful.
You had a 30-burger in your time at Duke?
Did I? You know, I got to go in the archives for that one. It's been a while. Didn't give. Oh.
So a couple of substitutions. You saw the foul there. It didn't seem like Erin Freeman was the person that actually made the foul, and there was a little confusion there. But either way, Harrison is going to be able to step up to the free throw line for you.
Confused me a little too.
Well, that's why I'm here, partner. Just so you know, for just backup. Knocks down the first. Short on the second. There's a violation we have here. So I believe she'll get one more. Limited action last season, 25 games, 1 start.
Harrison's been a little quiet tonight, scoring the ball, but she does have 6 assists, which you like to see from your primary ball handler. She's only averaging 1 assist, so great job getting her teammates the ball today.
I love what you're saying as far as what we're seeing from Wake Forest. Just move the ball. You wanted to see more of that. We've seen that so far. They have 20 assists on 26 made field goals. We talked about the scoring drought for Wake Forest. How about that 3-ball? Ricarte, I think she's found a home on the 3-point line.
She has shot the ball well today.
17 points. She has 5. And they get another turnover there. Don't look now. This one is not over. There's a minute left to play. 2-possession game, just down 5 points. Excuse me, I'm looking at the wrong thing here. 15. And they just calm things down a bit.
Look for Wake Forest to take their time in this last couple of possessions that they get at the end of this game, just to take the time off the clock.
Jewel Spear turns down the 3. They have 5 on the shot clock, still moving the ball around the perimeter. Harrison dishes it out to Scruggs, who unfortunately couldn't get a shot off.
Yeah, you want to get a shot up for sure, but I do like that they were patient and that they didn't just, you know, try to get a basket just because they could. That was the right decision.
So still at the top of the key, and you would think that about does it. I mean, Wake Forest can now move on to 3-0 at home. They are now above 500 with the 4th win of the season, and take care of business against the Chants.
Always great to protect home court and get a win, but Coastal Carolina has to be very proud of their performance today. They did a lot of great things.
Coach said there's this time to celebrate, but a quick turnaround because they have another test against Minnesota. That one's going to be just next week, 8 p.m. that they'll have that